Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Churro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore, website at the bottom, llewellyn.com, and there's a few social media links there. Feel free to check those out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish, and there's a website at the bottom, hayhouse.com. Feel free to check any of that out if you're interested. What do we have for Aquarius? That's it. That's it. What is going on here? I keep thinking, I feel like this energy is starting with looking back. I keep looking back. And I keep thinking that there was a lot of random coincidences. Or it's almost like when I keep looking at this Wheel of Fortune, I keep looking back like there was random things that were happening, but I'm starting to look back and question, were they really random? Or was there a reason those things were happening? That's interesting that we're questioning the Wheel of Fortune. The Sun card upside down, and the Five of Wands upside down. So, in the past, things didn't get fixed, but they were good. The Sun card upside down, the Sun card is like one of the few cards that no matter what way it shows up, it's a good card. At least the way I read it. But when it's reversed, it's kind of like, it's like things are good, but not as good as they could have been. It's kind of like, it was a good time, but it's like, how do I explain that? It's like looking at a picture, and it's like, instead of it being lively and full of color, and you can see everybody's faces, the Sun card reversed is like, I still have the picture, but like it's very faded. I can still make people out. We can still see what was happening there. I still have the memory. I'm still thankful to have the picture and happy to have it, but it's not in the best quality that I prefer it was in. But it's still good, and I'm still very happy and thankful to have it, if that makes sense. And I'm looking back, and I'm seeing like things worked out peacefully, but it seems like maybe they shouldn't have. You might be looking back in that way, kind of like maybe things were a little bit more good than they should have been. And the current energy is kind of like, things are still going well, but I feel like there's a lack of progression. And it's kind of like, all right now things are good, and I don't really want to upset that apple cart. But it might be a very sensitive situation, like once you bring stuff up, people have bad reactions. It's like, well, it almost feels like it's either we get along great, or we bring stuff up and all of a sudden, poof, everything blows up. We don't have this happy medium where we can just talk things out. People aren't very good at talking things out. You bring up a subject that needs to be dealt with, and people get really, and it's really kind of stressful. With Aquarius, at least my impression of Aquarius, they're not afraid to have banter or to like, I don't know if you, how would you explain this? It's like, not afraid to argue, but they're not looking to create like destruction, at least in my opinion, but they like bringing up those hard subjects. They get a reputation for being very argumentative, but I don't think of Aquarius that way. They bring forth things because they need to find information, because something is hidden. They're not afraid to argue, but they're not looking to create destruction. I don't know how to explain that. Well, if you're Aquarians, you probably understand what I mean by that. Like you're not looking to just ruin somebody's day. You're looking to like find like something isn't right here, and somebody isn't telling the truth, and I need to find out what I need to find out. So if it takes a little bit of rubbing somebody the wrong way to do that, then so be it. Hopefully that made sense. But the way it's going right now, anytime you try to start like a little bit of a question or like figure out what's going on, it immediately gets like railroaded into this like negative place where like it just becomes very, very negative. And it's like people take a conversation and they take it completely the wrong direction. It's kind of like I start talking about, like, that cake didn't quite work out well. Oh, there you go. You're always telling me that I'm a bad person. Like, I just said the cake didn't work out well. That's all I said. I didn't say anybody was a bad person. But that's where they take it. It's kind of like, whoa, how did we get there? Um, like, I almost feel like there's some manipulation here. When people want to hide information, they derail the conversation and they take it to like this place that's just like, all I can think of is like for example, I went to Fort Ricky Game Farm when I was a very young kid, and it's almost like anytime you try to bring up a different conversation, they bring it right back to like going back to Fort Ricky Game Farm and whatever happened there, and like how upset they are that they didn't get to feed the goats. And it's kind of like, I don't know how we got there, but why do we keep going there? Like, I was talking about cake, we ended up at Fort Ricky Game Farm when you were 5 years old, talking about how you didn't get to feed the goats. Okay. It's just one of those whacked out things. And I feel like I just don't even bother. Because it's almost like, I feel like the person, and then they talk in riddles, or they talk in, it's not that you can't figure out riddles, but it's like they're purposely throwing out misinformation. It's weird. It's kind of like they purposely throw out misinformation too. That might be another thing going on here. Clearly, Aquarius is very smart and knows what's going on. Usually, this is one of those situations where you've learned a lot about the situation, but like the information you want, I'm not even sure if this person knows it, because they're so off. Just off. Let's just say off. I don't know what type of state. They're just off. I'm not saying they're a good person, bad person, or anything in between. I'm just saying they're off. They're just off. So this situation, I feel like what is it? Well, can we just get more about this card? Because it's showing up like in your thoughts. 5 of Cups reversed. And the Hanged Man reversed. You're thinking you might want to be done with it. Because even though you're smart, how do I explain this? It's like I want to watch a movie, right? I want to watch a movie, and it's kind of like whatever it is. It's like it's either they're putting in movies that it's not the language that I speak and I can't follow the subtitles, or it's just like so out of the genres that I like that I just fall asleep instead of being able to pay attention to it. It's just so foreign that I can't get into it. I just can't get into it. And I feel like I've tried many different ways to try to make it work. But like it's just never works. It just never works for me. It's interesting. It's almost like, movies with subtitles, that's fine once in a while, but it's not something I constantly want to watch. But it seems like that's all it is. But then it's like when it's that, it becomes so complicated that like it's like a complicated movie where you can't just watch the subtitles. You have to like pay attention to what's physically happening on the screen, because if you don't see what's happening, if you don't pay attention to what's physically happening, even though the words are there, you're missing out on a lot of what's actually corresponding between people. So it's like this has become very uncomfortable, very unpleasant. I don't even want to figure it out anymore. And it's kind of like we can get along and people can all be happy and nice to each other, but we can't talk about anything of substance, which I feel like is very draining for you. This might be a harsh read. I just feel like it might on paper or on the surface may not look like that bad of a situation, but I feel like this is completely different from what you are really happy with. I just feel like it's not mentally stimulating, because anytime that I try to grow the situation or try to find out more things, it just doesn't work, and it just goes in circles. I know what I know, but finding out new information that's reliable doesn't seem to be very easy. I can find information, but I can also find sooner enough. Usually I find new information, but I usually track it down and then it turns out to be worthless or not anywhere near what I wanted. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Not anywhere near what I was looking to find. Like, I want to know about, I want to know about cakes. And I'm not finding out about cakes. I'm finding out about Fort Worth Game Farm. It all leads back to Fort Worth Game Farm. Every time. Like, every time. And it's kind of like, all right, this isn't fun anymore. And like, if it at least went to pies or some other food, it doesn't go there. It goes Fort Worth Game Farm. Every time. And I'm just over it. This situation, you have to ask yourself, do you have to be involved with this anymore? Somebody here is hiding something. Okay. What are they hiding? Knight of Swords and the Devil card, half in, half out. Somebody's hiding something. They are definitely hiding something. And they feel like what they're doing is the right thing to do to keep it from becoming any worse. Somebody is hiding something here, for sure. There's something they don't want known, and they're hiding something. It says best possible decision next to them. They have to make decisions to correct whatever's going on there. That's quite the feat to like keep Aquarius off the trail, but like there is something there though. I don't think that would surprise you. I have a feeling. I just feel like I'm over the whole situation. This is an interesting one. Knight of Cups, half in, half out, and the Empress. Is this situation worth it anymore? If this person is just so invested in keeping you off the trail, and I got the Knight of Cup or the Knight of Swords with them, half in, half out, which means just because somebody on the surface may not seem like they're as intelligent as you, some people play it very like there's more going on upstairs than they let out. I feel like you probably figured that out with this person anyway, because maybe they're a little bit more intelligent than they seem. Maybe not super smart, but smart enough to keep people off their trail, or at least allow details to come forward. They may be very good at spreading misinformation. Some people are very good at that. I feel like that's what this reading is about. Asking yourself, is this worth it anymore? Whatever this is, whatever the connection is, if it's a work situation, maybe this is your partner, maybe it's a family member who just doesn't want to work with you or just doesn't want to connect with you that way. Is it worth keeping up that connection, or is it time to kind of like distance yourself from it? So for example, if it's a work situation, maybe it's time to change departments or even change places of work. If it's a partner and you're not happy with it, I don't know. You have to decide for yourself. Is this worth it? Is this relationship worth it or not? You have to decide for yourself. If it's somebody else in your family or a friend, maybe it's time to just distance yourself from them and just let them be. It's kind of like, all right, they have something to hide. Maybe they need to hide it. Maybe I just need to walk away for a while. They're going to live their life and I need to go do something else. They're asking you if this connection is worth it. That's the whole point of this reading. Because it seems like, ironically, they're able to keep their secret. And you're pretty smart. Aquarius is pretty smart, so I just feel like there's too much stress in finding out the secret. How does this secret affect Aquarius? Do I dare? So if Aquarius knew the secret, how would it affect Aquarius? Three of Swords reversed, and the Moon card half in, half out. The Three of Swords reversed is the release. Like, it's like, it might be benign to you. And the Moon card half in, half out, kind of like, I don't understand why they fought so hard to keep it. Whatever they're trying to hide, it may not even be that important. It's almost like, it's almost like they have if this was a spouse, like they have property with maybe somebody else in their family, but they had it before they knew you. And it's kind of like, if you knew that, you'd be like, so why is that a big deal? Like, why did we have to why does that matter? It's something like that. It just seems like to you, it'd be like, why did they have to hide that? Like, what was the point? I don't know. This person, they might have issues. Um, whoever this person is, whatever's going on here, that it just, I don't know. That's kind of strange. The Three of Swords reversed is like the release of heartbreak. It's kind of like it's not even that bad, and then the Moon half in half out. It's kind of like I keep thinking like I'm like, why did you hide that? When I found out the mystery, I'm like, it really wasn't that big of a deal anyway. Like, it's just so weird. It's just like, why did you put that much energy into hiding something that didn't matter that much? This person might be a little off. So take that with a grain of salt. We're not saying anybody's anything. They just might be off. I don't know. The whole point of this is like, is this worth your time? Do you want to stay connected with it? Um, Up to you. I was totally not expecting that outcome, but okay. Hopefully that's helpful in some respect. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.